first 3 lines of the comments.
Point of order, Madam Chair. Point of order, Madam Chair, kasi parang...
So let's please proceed with the answer.
Point of order, Madam Chair, kasi parang siya yung nagpe-preside eh.
Yeah, that's why
Inuutusan mo yung secretariat natin sa Committee on Appropriation.
yes,
Alam mo, di ba?
Madam Vice President, please proceed with the
Sinasabi natin na dinadivert ang usapan sa ating budget hearing. Kung nagawa po niya yan sa Senado, Madam Chair, dapat hindi natin yan pahintulutan dito sa Kamara.
You allowed her a snide comment and then you will not allow me? Please wait to my comment. Our members and our guests. I warn you. Please wait. Don't go to this rabbit hole. Please wait to be acknowledged before you speak. Okay, so at this point, Honorable Manuel.
Lahat. On June 19, 2022, I swear an oath to faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties as the Vice President of the Philippines, preserve and defend its Constitution, execute its laws, do justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation. It is then my lawful duty to give aid to any person who reaches out to the OVP seeking relief. I must do justice to every man, and I intend to do so. Historically, the medical and burial assistance programs have always been continuing projects of the institution. The legacy projects that we envision, however, includes a permanent office for future vice presidents, a vice president museum, and for the OVP to have its own charter. Unfortunately, the latter projects may never come to fruition given the political climate surrounding the institution. The programs, activities, and projects of the OVP that are original to my term are those that echo my campaign platform of trabaho, edukasyon, at mapayapang pamumuhay. More importantly, these also embody the nature of constant requests and pleas for assistance that we have been receiving in the OVP, majority of which are the medical and burial assistance, followed by assistance for financial difficulties, livelihood, and support for school-related expenses, as well as immediate aid when calamities strike. Aspiring to provide responsive service even to geographically isolated and disadvantaged communities, the OVP established 10 satellite offices, 2 extension offices, a disaster operations center, and extended programs such as the medical and burial assistance, Libreng Sakay, Kalusugan food trucks, and the Pansarap project, Pagbabago, A Million Learners, and Trees campaign, Magnegosyo Taday, and relief operations for individuals during crisis and emergencies. These programs fall under the banners of peace, poverty alleviation, calamity response, health, education, and environmental stewardship. These form part of the oath I have taken, as these are repeatedly mentioned and provided for in our Constitution. On the matter of OVP projects being similar to the mandate of other government offices, there is certainly no agency that has the monopoly of government services. No office of the government should be so helpless as to deny assistance to a person in distress. After all, the duty of government is to afford our countrymen with faithful public service. Corollary to this is the issue of politics being involved in relation to the national budget and release of financial assistance. We need not go further than the statement of Senator Amy Marcos during the Senate budget hearing, wherein she corroborated our claim and said, "Ang sasabihin ko lang, hindi naman sa barangay lamang napupolitika ang ayuda, pati dito sa mga senador, pati sa ating pangalawang Pangulo." I shall now address the issues that are germane to the use of public funds. It is my belief that it would be a stretch, if not absurd, to compare the budget of my immediate predecessor to the present budget proposal. We do not have personal knowledge as to why she did not request for a fair budget for her projects. On the issue of security personnel, it must be clarified that during the time of my predecessors, the protection team was only limited to the Vice Presidential Security Detachment. During my term, however, there were legal issuances made by the DND, AFP, PNP, and NAPOLCOM for the creation of the AFP Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group and the PNP Vice Presidential Protection Division. It must also be clarified that the number of security personnel is not determined by the OVP. We are mere recipients of the security personnel detailed to the office. To date, there are no more PNP personnel in the OVP. On the issue of confidential funds, we have received audit actions regarding the confidential funds of the OVP. We have submitted our responses and we assure our full cooperation with the ongoing audit. I am, however, bewildered as to the issues being propagated and the fact that we were able to efficiently utilize funds given to the OVP in December 2022, considering that in the government, usually, we disperse millions, if not billions of pesos in a single day. And what makes it even more perplexing is that government agencies are often criticized for low budget utilization rates. For this proposal, as an example, we were even required to explain the low utilization or disbursement rates and present a catch-up plan for such. Turning on the issue of the book I have written, ang libro na pinamagatang Isang Kaibigan ay ginagamit namin sa book donation at book reading or storytelling sessions sa mga paaralang binibisita ko. Isinasagawa namin ito upang mahikayat ang mga bata na mahalin ang pagbabasa at sumulat ng sarili nilang kwento. The inclusion of my name and image on the About the Author page is a common practice for authors and is not intended as a political move. More importantly, the project recipients of the book are elementary students and grade 7 learners. This belies any insinuation of political motives as they will not even be eligible to vote for 2028. Which then brings us to the matter of impeachment. Bilang isang kaibigan, I will not violate the confidence of a few members of the House of Representatives who have either recorded conversations or participated in shared conversations regarding each impeachment proceedings against me. Nonetheless, this is nothing new. Talks of impeachment have been ongoing for several months now. In fact, a member of the lower house has publicly declared in an interview where she was quoted by the Philippine Daily Inquirer saying that in light of the possible numerous violations of the OVP on the use of the 125 million confidential fund, which is not in the 2022 General Appropriations Act, discounting the fact that it may file an impeachment case against the Vice President. Surprisingly, despite the absence of proof as to any wrongdoing, she already revealed the grounds for impeachments when she was also quoted saying as, especially on the misuse of public funds, technical malversation, and violation of the 1987 Constitution. Finally, on the issue of the West Philippine Sea, I stand by the Constitution, which provides that the state shall pursue an independent foreign policy in its relations with other states. The paramount consideration shall be national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interest, and the right to self-determination. As Filipinos, we are all in agreement that our claim is firmly anchored on the UN Convention on the Law of the Seas and the 2016 Arbitral Award. But we must also bear in mind that bilateral relations are not dictated by a singular issue or concern like a territorial dispute, but rather by a comprehensive approach that considers the broader context of shared interests and regional stability. While silence on specific harassment issues may be perceived as a lack of response, it is essential to recognize that such decisions are made following established mandates and particular responsibilities of relevant agencies. It is well settled that the President is the chief architect of foreign policy. It therefore follows that appropriate agencies are tasked with addressing and implementing measures related to our foreign policy positions and principles. As a reserve officer of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, I sincerely appreciate the sacrifices made by our uniformed personnel in the service of our national interests. However, it is crucial to avoid politicizing their sacrifices for media mileage or social media commentary. Instead, we should focus on ensuring that their efforts are recognized and valued in a manner that respects their contributions and upholds the dignity of their service, which we in the OVP continue to do and have always chosen to do away with the cameras. I shall now proceed to the PowerPoint presentation of the salient points of the OVP budget proposal.
Maraming salamat, Madam Vice President. At this point, I'd like to inform the body that the budget sponsor for the office of the Vice President is the Honorable Zia Alonto Adyong. So we will now begin interpellation. Pero bago ang lahat, gusto ko lang sana ipaalala sa mga miyembro at sa ating kagalang-galang na bisita na ang tatalakayan natin ngayong araw ay ang budget ng Office of the Vice President at ang usaping paggastos ng opisina ng ating pangalawang Pangulo. So, also, considering that the reports, if you wish to propound questions on confidential funds and expenses, we request the members to be circumspect in disclosing information and details of operations that may affect national security, public order, and public safety. Right? And of course, the usual reminder that each of you would have only 5 minutes and that the responses of our resource persons would not be included in those. So, our first to interpolate would be from the minority. We have our Deputy Minority Leader, Franz Castro.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Am I recognized?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Madam Vice
Yes.
President.
I would like to forgo the opportunity to defend the budget in a question and answer format. I will leave it up to the House to decide on the budget submitted.
5 million, provision of medical and food aid 40 million, payment of incentives or traveling relative to confidential operations 10 million. So a total of 125 million, conducted surveillance in 132 areas in 11 days. So 100% utilization. Madam Chair, I have also here a report about the notice of disallowance. According to the notice of disallowance, the COA disallowed 73,287,000 out of 125 million confidential funds used by the OVP in 2022. So this is 58.62% of the 125 million. So can you confirm? The Vice President.
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, since you allowed her a snide comment, you will allow me a snide comment as well.
So my question is,
Madam,
can you
yes.
confirm?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Diba?
Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair.
So,
May I, before you proceed, may I remind both our guests and our resource
You should have reminded
persons
her when she said the
refrain
line, diba? I called your attention, Madam Chair. You did not recognize me. So, ngayon, sasabihin ko na, if you allowed her that, you allowed me a snide comment as well.
I don't recall hearing a snide comment, Madam Vice President. Ang snide comment, that's a matter of judgment. So please proceed with
Secretariat,
please
Madam
proceed,
Chair,
ma'am.
I would like to
It's another point of order kasi kapag may mga deliberation tayo, we should stick to the topic. Hindi pwede, Madam Chair, na dinadivert natin yung usapan para hindi natin sagutin yung tanong ng mga mambabatas natin. This is actually the best opportunity, formal proceedings, nakikita po ng publiko para malaman anong sagot ng Vice Presidente. So hindi po natin napapayagan ang ganong mga argumento na hindi naman tumutumbok dun sa topic natin.
So,
Okay,
Madam
Madam
Vice
Chair,
President, there's
I
a
will make this
question.
easy for you.
Please
Sige,
make
ma'am.
your responses direct to the point.
Sige, ma'am. I will make this easy for you. What rules are we using for this budget hearing?
We have our rules
Yes, ma'am.
adopted by the Committee on Appropriations.
Right, okay. We searched for that rule. So, we only found the general rules. So, we have a copy of the rules for the budget hearings.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, mas importante ang rules para sa amin. Kayo po, ang kailangan nyo lang marinig is yung acknowledgement for you to begin to speak. Yun lang po ang pinaka-importante para sa guests. Sa totoo lang po.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ang pinaka-importante, yes, you may proceed. At saka po yung adjournment, yun lang po. Yung termination po, yun ang pinaka-importante lang po. For the rules, yun ang ay importante para sa members. But we may provide the copy to you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
please proceed and answer the
May we
question.
request a copy?
Yes, yes, absolutely. But
Yes.
please, there is a question. And do you want us to repeat the question? And we will not penalize you all the time.
I don't
You can repeat the facts from the notice of disallowance.
I don't need the repeat of
Honorable
the
Franz.
question.
Yes, Honorable Franz Castro, you may repeat your question on the notice of disallowance, I believe.
Yeah, tama, Madam Chair. So according to COA, the notice of disallowance is amounted to 73,287,000 out of 125. At ito po, Madam Chair, yung mga breakdown ng mga disallowed na mga ng mga purchases. So reward payment of 10 million, payment of rewards, various goods, 34.857 million, payment of rewards, medicines, 24.93 million, tables, chairs, desks, computer and printers, 3.5 million. So, ang question, Madam Chair, so yung letter A, B, and C, so nakita naman natin nandoon yung sa joint circular. How about yung ito, no? How about yung mga tables, chairs, desktop, computer, na umabot po ito sa 3.5 million. So, pwede bang maipaliwanag kung bakit ito pinurchase, Madam Chair?
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I still request for the rules of the budget hearings. Okay, gusto mo sagutin ko, ma'am.
Yes, Madam.
This is a hearing of the budget of 2025. Nasaan dito ang confidential funds? Yung tanong niya,
Madam
confidential
Chair.
funds. Nasaan dito?
Honorable
Madam Chair,
Franz, you may
ito yung continuing, continuing questions pa natin noong